guys, welcome back. Unit 2 is functions transformation. So we're going to look at how to do the long answers in this unit. We did all the multiple choice in class. The homework was your long answers. So if we flip through, we start off with this guy here. Sketch the graph on the same graph as this guy. So create a mapping rule to find your points. Okay. First thing, you need to move a bunch of stuff over here. So first thing I would move is this 4. So you add 4 to both sides. I have negative 2y equals f. This 1/3 is already factored out for you. That's gorgeous. Plus 4. I also need to move this negative 2 by dividing by 2 on both sides. So negative a half f of a third x minus 1. I have to divide this by negative 2 as well, which comes out to be negative 2. From here, you make your mapping rule. xy goes 2. This goes into your mapping rule for x, but I have to do the reciprocal and add 1. Oops, that should be a comma. Then I also have negative half y minus 2. From here, I'm plugging in my points. Your graph will be really clear, I promise, on your midterm, so you won't have to squint or look too hard. This point looks like it's negative 6, 2 to me. Negative 6, 2, when I plug that guy in, I get negative 17, negative 1. We can go through the process. I'm not going to do it for everyone, but let's do it for a few. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Plus 1 is negative 17. 2 times negative a half is negative 1. Minus 2 minus a negative 3. Why am I? The answer key says 1. Oh, a negative. Sorry, ignore me. This should have been a negative 2. That's why it didn't work. Negative a half times negative 2 is positive 1. Minus 2 is negative 1. Sticking with it. Same thing if I plug in any of my points. Negative 3, negative 2. We'll go to negative 8, 1. 3, 4. Plugging it into my mapping rule. Goes to 10, negative 4. And 6, negative 5 goes to my mapping rule, 19.5 or 0.5. You won't get any really ugly decimals. If you got like 0.2333, like a bunch of ugly numbers, not going to be there. It's too hard. So when you go to plot these new points, negative 6, comma, negative 2, change to negative 6, 17, negative 1. Negative 17, negative 1, be here-ish. Same thing, I got negative 8, negative 1, here-ish. 10, negative 4, dun, 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 goes here. 19.5, 16, 17, 18, 19, a little tiny bit above is right here. So you want to make the same type of shape by connecting your dots, and looks like that. You could also label your initial point A and your new point A prime. A prime means new. So this would be A, this would be A prime, if you want to go through and label all your points. Beauty. Love it. F of x equals x squared, and you're given this guy. It's saying do the transformations and graph it. The only difference between this and the last guy is that your starting point is x squared. We all know what an x squared graph looks like. My origin starts here. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. Here, 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 here. On the other side, you have this beautiful U, this beautiful curve. And then you just make a mapping rule from that and plug in your points. It's the exact same thing as the last question. The only harder step is that you have to draw the graph first and do it. Okay, I'm going to skip doing that one. You can look at the answer key to see how they do it. It's the exact same thing as the last guy. So starting here, make a mapping rule. Great. Give her a flip. Oh, where did my next page go? Oh, right here. Number 3, determine the function. Is this the inverse? I wouldn't word it like this. I would say, given this function, what is the inverse, and then restrict the domain. So I would give you this. What is the inverse? Restrict the domain. You could complete the square. That's what the answer key does. I don't, completing the square isn't an outcome in this course, so you could just do negative b over 2a to find your points, and then change it to a vertex form like that. So negative b over 2a, negative 12 is positive 12 over 2 times 3. 12 over 6 is 2. All happy with that. Find your y component then. So I'm plugging it back in. I have 3 times 2 squared minus 12 times 2 plus 15. When we work that out, I get a 3. So this isn't an inverse. This is just the same guy in vertex form because now I can find my inverse. So I have this beauty equation right there. So this is not the inverse. This is just the same equation in factored form. Notice this 3 out front. Your a value here is always going to be the same as your a value there. Nice little hint for you. Now I got to find the inverse. I do that by swapping x and y. Oops, that was supposed to be a y. And solving for it. First thing you do is minus 3. I have x minus 3 equals 3. Y minus 2 squared. Then I divide by 3. If you can do this in more steps or less steps, go ahead. Please feel free. Then I take the square root. When I take the square root, I need to do the plus and minus. This is where your restriction of the domain comes from. So I have plus or minus root x minus 3 over 2 equals y minus 2. And to get rid of that minus 2, I add 2 to both sides. You can put it on the end, you can put it on the front, totally up to you. Last thing, if you were given this question, it would 100% say restrict the domain so that the inverse is a function. You only need to give one part of it, you don't need to give both. So we are going to say when f of x is bigger than the x component of my vertex 2, we are using the positive version of my function. When f of x is less than 2, oh, those are just supposed to be x's, sorry. Then we use the negative version of my radical. So x bigger, you have a positive. Less than, you have a negative. Beauty question. Love it. That was it for that unit. Awesome. So I will see you back for unit 3. Do you want to see my dog? She's sleeping. Say hi. Say hello. Okay. See you in the next video.